Come closer, friend. The night is thick and the wind has a bite to it. But our fire is warm, and the woods, for now, keep their distance. Take a seat. There's room enough for one more. Out here, beneath these ancient trees, stories cling to the shadows like mist. Some were meant to be warning. Some were just meant to keep you company till dawn. Rest your legs. Feel the heat in your hand. And listen close. For in these wild places, the line between myth and memory is thinner than you think. Let me tell you a story I heard not long ago. Before kings ruled Scotland, before roads carved through the heather, there was a light in the mist. A lantern, green as witchfire, swaying where no path should be. They say it calls to the lonely, the lost, the desperate. But follow it, and you're never seen again. Tonight I'll take you to the edge of Loch Doon, where a forgotten legend still flickers in the dark. Stay close to the fire, and whatever you do, don't follow the light. If you've got the nerve, I promise you'll remember it the next time you see a mysterious light off in the distance. There was once a time, before clocks, before railways, before Scotland had kings, that the world was ruled not by men, but by shadow and superstition. The hills were taller then, the nights longer, and the land between Loch Doon and the northern glens was whispered to be cursed. They say no one lived nearer the loch than Elspeth Cairlin. Her bothy was a squat little shelter of moss and stone, nestled against a hill that old folk called the Druid's Hill. They claimed something ancient slept beneath it, though none dared to say what. Elspeth was a midwife by trade, but no one called her that by name. She was the Hag of Doon, though not unkindly. She healed with hands that knew the bones of a body better than most men knew their wives. She delivered children, mended wounds, cured sheep of bloat and boys of night terrors. But she asked strange payment. Bird skulls, ashes, teeth, locks of hair, and she never entered a kirk. Some said she wasn't entirely of this world, that she'd once lain with a spirit of the loch and born its stillborn child. Others believe she spoke with the dead and learned from them. Whether that's true or not, folk feared for her and needed her. When the sickness came, the red fever as it was called, it burned through the glens like a devil loosed from hell. It struck the young first, then the old, then everyone else. Wails filled the night. Smoke never stopped rising from the pyres. The kirkmen begged prayers. The chiefs offered whiskey and gold. But only Elspeth climbed the Druid's Hill on the seventh moonless night, carrying her old lantern with its cracked green glass. No one followed her. No one dared. But from the village, they saw her silhouette outlined by the stars, arms outstretched, light held high, chanting in a tongue long forgotten. It says she spoke to the thing beneath the hill, and it answered. The next day, the fever was gone, the very next day. But so was Elspeth. When villagers finally climbed the hill, they found her bothy cold, her fire dead, her belongings untouched. No blood, no struggle, just a faint scorch mark in the shape of a circle atop the stone cairn overlooking the loch. And beside it, her lantern, still burning. No oil, no wick, just flame, green and pale as moonlight. The years rolled on, as years tend to do, burying fear beneath routine and mystery beneath silence. But the stories, they never stopped. The first was a hunter, found with his dog frozen beside him, though the night hadn't dropped below freezing. His eyes were wide, mouth agape, as if he'd seen something that didn't belong in this world. The tracks told a stranger tale. He'd left the main trail, wandered half a mile toward the bog, and just stopped. His final footprints pointed outward, toward nothing. Then came the piper's boy, who was sent to deliver a letter to the next glen. He never arrived. But weeks later, the letter was returned, burnt at the edges and damp with what smelled like loch water. When asked what they'd seen, survivors told odd tales. A faint green light in the fog, a lullaby that drifted from the trees, a woman's shape gliding just ahead, beckoning with no voice. Some claimed it was the ghost of Elspeth herself, cursed to wander the moor in eternal penance. Others said she made the pact, and it was not her soul that returned. Children were warned never to follow the strange lights, but warnings fade as curiosity outweighs fear, especially in the young and the desperate. One old man, blind from birth, claimed the light visited him in the dead of winter. He said he felt it, heard it hum like a distant storm under his skin. When asked what it said, he only wept and muttered, "She doesn't want to be alone anymore." The land around the loch became feared, even by the shepherds. They whispered of the drowned, said to walk at night, led by the Cairlin's light, faces hidden beneath hoods, feet never touching the ground, trailing long strands of lakeweed. They don't speak, but they follow you if you follow her. In more modern times, the tale of Elspeth Cairlin faded into a folk tale for tourists and ghost hunters. But those who live near Loch Doon keep the old signs, rowan branches above the doors, iron nails over thresholds, coats turned inside out when the mist rolls in. In 2017, a hiker named Isla McRae, a keen wild camper and history blogger, set off on a solo trek through the Highlands. She was last seen in Glendrummin, asking directions to a path that hadn't been walked in 50 years. When she didn't return, a search party went out. No trace until her rucksack was found beneath a rowan tree, untouched by animals. Inside, her journal told a chilling tale. I followed it. I know I shouldn't have, but it was so strange. The lantern moved through the heather without a sound. No crunch, no wind. It felt like it was waiting for me. I walked off the trail, and it opened into a grove I swear wasn't on the map. Stone pillars, old as time. She was there. I saw her. Black dress, bare feet, eyes like hollow glass. She held out the lantern. I think she wanted me to take it. There were no footprints, no blood, but on the shore of Loch Doon, searchers found a single boot, standing upright, waterlogged. Locals muttered she was offered the flame. She must have taken it. Now people claim the light has moved. Sightings come from further afield. A camper by Loch Doon reports seeing a pale flame across the water, though he was the only one on the map that night. A lorry driver near Aviemore brakes hard for a lantern drifting across the road, but finds no one there. An old woman in Thurso swears she saw 3 lights moving in a line through the sea fog, each green, each slow, each pulsing like a heartbeat. Some believe Cairlin's lantern was a key, a beacon to something older, deeper. That Elspeth didn't make a deal to stop the plague. She opened a gate, one that never closed. It's said if you see the lantern and ignore it, you'll hear a soft knock on your window 3 nights later. Ignore it again, and your dreams begin to change. Hills you've never seen, stones that glow, voices calling your name through the peat. Answer the knock, and you're never seen again. And now, some claim there's not just one light anymore, that those who vanish take up the lantern themselves, cursed to guide the next soul, like a chain of lost wanderers, each doomed to mislead the next. The Cairlin's light is still out there, and now it's looking for the next soul to carry the flame. Sleep well, wanderer, but if you see a lantern in the dark, walk the other way. Some say it's just a story, just a light on the wind. But tell me, when the fog comes crawling and something knocks at your window on a windless night, will you answer?